Hi everyone, my name is Mrs. Driver and welcome to Week 2 of American Literature 1. Today we have a number of assignments and I just kind of wanted to go through some of them with you to give you a better idea of what my expectations are. First, I want you to read through the Week 2 assignment in its entirety, okay? Then I want you to go to lessons and I want you to complete Lesson 2 about colonial Americans and Lesson 3, more colonial writers. We're going to be reading Rawlinson, Cotton Mather. There's also a discussion for Lesson 3, as well as let's go take a quick peek at Lesson 2. We're going to read also William Bradford and Winthrop and Anne Bradstreet. I know it seems like a lot, but a lot of these works are quite short. I also want you to go through the discussions, and I see that some of you have already completed the discussions. Please complete the Lesson 2 and Lesson 3 discussions. Now, I should warn you, I have a little puppy, and my puppy likes to play a lot, so you might hear her squeak her toy, so I apologize for that in advance. Can't help it. This is real life. Anyway, so I apologize for that. But I also want you to make sure to complete the quiz at the end of Lesson 2. It only can be taken one time, okay? Now, we also have a critical paper due at the end of the course. This isn't due this week, obviously, but this week, I want you to consider what kind of topics you would like to cover for your critical paper. Now, to find the topics, click on Papers Projects, scroll down, and you'll find the information on the critical paper. Below, you can find some of the topics under option 1 or option 2, and you can create your own topic, but that entails that you must read these works and decide how you want to cover that work when you give me the idea for your topic, okay? I want to know a little bit more about that, okay? So let's go back to the announcements again. When you figure out your topic, I want you to send me that topic through messages, okay? So just click on messages and let me know what your topic is. And I will respond. I'll say, great job, or think about this, or I'll give you a little bit of feedback, but basically I want you to send me your topic. Next, you have your first analytical response due. Okay, you must send that through the Papers and Projects link to the right of your screen underneath the lesson. So basically what I want you to do is click on Papers and Projects. I want you to read what my expectations are for the projects. Okay, 2 full text pages. And I'm going to show you how to set up a paper MLA style right now. But that is 2 full text pages, not 1.75, not 1 page and you put a bunch of spaces in between each of your paragraphs. I want 2 full text pages, all right? And then a works cited page as well. And kind of go through what my expectations are. I want you to briefly summarize the work first. And then what I'm really interested in is your thoughts about the work. I don't want you to just give me a summarize. I want you to really think about what the works mean, okay? And then I want you to avoid first person. So that's no I, me, you, I, me, us, we, are, I, me, and then the us and we and are first person plural. I also want you to avoid second person. So that means no, you, your. I want you to write this in third person. Also, note this. You should use literary present tense. Now, if you decide to write it in past tense, I probably won't take off for that, but you need to keep the tense consistent, okay? But generally in literature, we write in present tense. Now, note that there's a sample analytical response here. You can use that to give you an idea of what my expectations are. Also note that you will be using these 2 authors, okay? With the first analytical response. I want a brief summary and then I want you to compare and contrast both works, but I want you to have a point to the compare and contrast. Okay? Now, you can write this similar to the essays that you wrote in English 1301. You had an introduction, you had a thesis statement, then you had body paragraphs that focus on that thesis statement and a conclusion. That's fine. Just have the introduction, then a thesis, then your first paragraph would be the brief summary, and then after that would be your analysis, compare and contrast with the point of both works, and then your conclusion. Please save your file with your last name, and it says it in number 7, your last name and the assignment. And make sure to save it as a .doc or a .docx. I can't grade it otherwise if it's a .txt or a .rtf or a .pdf. It's very difficult for me to grade your assignment. Okay? Now, I'm going to bring up Word and I want to show you how to format an essay MLA style. This probably is very familiar to you, but let me pull this down a little bit. First, MLA, you use Times New Roman 12. Okay, so I'm going to pull up Times New Roman. And then it's 12 font. And then I want you to format, and I'm going to see if I can pull this down a little bit. Probably can't. But anyway, click on Format. You click on Paragraph. Then you have the paragraph spacing set up. Change your spacing to double. Click OK. Then I want you to insert page numbers. Make sure the page number is at the top of the page, the alignment is to the right, and you show the number on the first page. Double click on the header, highlight the number, click on Times New Roman, and it will change the the font of the page number. Then type in your last name, not my last name, so I'm going to make up a name. Let's say your name is Smith. Put that into the header. Double click on the body, and then you put your name on the top. So let's say you're John Smith. Better capitalize your last name. Then you put my name, Mrs. Driver. Then you put the course, and then you put the date. So today's date is September, let's do this again. September 5th, 2017. You might hear some thunder in the background. We have a very wicked storm going on right now. Then I want you to title your essay. Please don't title it AR1. Try to come up with something a little interesting. You know, make me interested. Make me want to read your assignment. Then tab in your first paragraph. Your first paragraph would be the introduction. And then I like it that you end with a thesis statement. The assignment directions does not specifically state you must have a thesis statement, but for me, I prefer a thesis statement. So an introduction, a thesis. Then your first body paragraph would be the summary. Okay, let's say you have 2 authors. Okay, you're going to be comparing and contrasting 2 authors. I'm going to make up 2 authors here. Let's say you're writing, the first author is Jones, and the second author is, I don't know, McGuire. Okay, when you summarize, and you started with Jones, and you brought in McGuire as a second summary, then your next paragraph needs to do the same. You go first Jones, and then you do the next McGuire. You don't want to intermingle, that is, you don't want to start with McGuire in the comparison and then Jones. You keep the organization consistent throughout your essay. So the next comparison, let's pull this up a little bit. The next comparison would be the same thing. The organization must be consistent, and do the same thing for comparison number 4, and then you write a conclusion. The conclusion should not bring in new information. It needs to just summarize the main points and reiterate your critical point with the comparison. You've got to have a reason for the comparison. Don't just compare apples to oranges. Don't just compare authors. You must have a reason for that comparison. Obviously, I want you to have a works cited page. In the forums, I'm going to go ahead and put a sample works cited citation so you can get an idea of what my expectations are for the citations. In text, do this. that would be the quotation, and then you put the page number. Let's say it's page 72. If you just do the quotation, let me pull this up again. The author writes, then you would put the author and the page number in the in-text citation. Okay, I hope that clarifies some of the assignments this week, but please let me know if you have any questions. Thanks. Bye.